Hi, Royal community, and welcome to this week's podcast live. My name's Michelle.
And I'm Rachel.
And you have joined us on Keeping Up with the Windsors. We are so excited because we're back.
We are back, Royal community. We had a little break over Christmas. There wasn't much royal news going on. As we know, the royals take a break. So we thought we'll take a break as well. And then Shell went on holiday and life just got in the way. We've both got busy jobs. We've both got a lot going on. But we thought we need to come back. So let's just get on with it, basically.
Yeah, roll with the punches. Let's do this. We are so excited to be back and chatting all things royal. We've got so much to catch up on. We're not going to go into major detail about certain engagements, but we will be giving you the Cliff Notes version and also talking about things that have really excited us or we just wanted to have a little talking point about. So, Rach, what are we talking about today?
So we've got quite a few things to talk about. We've got obviously Catherine's back from engagements and it was announced she was in remission. We've got a new royal baby. We've got a royal tour announced. There has been a royal tour. There's been royal visits. So
it's all going on.
It's all going on with the Windsors. That's how I keep up with them.
Yeah. And let's carry on with then Catherine's remission. She is in remission. This was so exciting. And it was on her Instagram, right, that we saw this?
Yeah, on the Prince and Princess of Wales official Instagram.
I was really shocked. How did you feel about it? I mean, she went to a hospital, right?
She did. I'm looking at my phone, royal community, because I've got some notes on here. So this was on an Instagram post that it was announced that she was in remission. And if you hadn't read the whole post, I don't think you would have read the part that I'm relieved to be in remission now, because it was kind of like at the bottom of the post. But she went to the Royal Marsden Hospital to say thanks. And she said, "It is a relief to now be in remission and I remain focused on recovery. As anyone who has experienced a cancer diagnosis will know, it takes time to adjust to a new normal. I am, however, looking forward to a fulfilling year ahead. There is much to look forward to. Thank you to everyone for your continued support. C." And what was interesting about the engagement was that she said it was nice coming in to the hospital knowing she wasn't going to have treatment, because that was where she was having her cancer treatment. And it was also announced that her and William have actually become joint patrons of the Royal Marsden Hospital.
Absolutely. And I absolutely love the fact that this joint patronage it's got more of an emotive feeling behind it. When they go there, they know that this is the place that gave Catherine the treatment. So she's got a first-hand account of what it's like to be there. And when we saw her going around meeting with fellow patients, she had this deeper understanding and she knew of the treatment, and she was speaking to somebody about the cold cap they were wearing. And I agree with you, Rach. I think had you not seen that caption and read it all the way through, you wouldn't really have seen that she was in remission, because she did leave it right to the end. But I'm glad that she is, and I'm glad that her cancer journey is in the remission stage, which is absolutely incredible. Just to think, it's been a year ago that her cancer was, I think it was March, wasn't it? It was diagnosed as cancer, or cancer had been present, let's put it that way. So yeah, I mean, all hail the remission for Catherine. It was so amazing. I really, really, it put a smile on my face, let's put it that way. It's
And it's been nice as well to see her slowly making a return to royal engagements as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Rach, staying with Catherine, we saw on World Cancer Day that Prince Louis had taken a photograph of Catherine, and the caption on their Instagram said, "Don't forget to nurture all that which lies beyond the disease." And for anyone who's watching on our YouTube channel, I'll pop up the picture now so you know what we're talking about. This picture, Rach, what are your thoughts on it?
I just thought it was lovely. I mean, they have always spoken about being out in nature with the kids, haven't they? And it was just the fact that it was taken by Louis. I think a lot of people were like, "Oh, he's inherited her artistic flair," and it was really nice. And she just looks so happy and free. And I think that's probably what a lot of people who are going through remission feel like.
When I first saw it, I thought, oh, it's really dark and you can't really see her face. And, she's in the woods around things that look like they've died or they're in that kind of winter phase, but she's like bursting out with lots of life and vibrancy. And so I think symbolically this is an amazing photograph, but I don't particularly like it as a photograph because I can't really see Catherine, but I completely understand like the symbolism behind it. And the fact that Louis took it, I think is just, it's always the icing on the cake, really, isn't it, Rach?
Yeah, exactly. Staying with the Waleses, William has become patron of Paramedics UK,
Oh,
which
wow.
was really nice to see because, as we know, he has his career started as an air ambulance pilot. So it's nice when he does engagements like this and for him to become a patron of something that's going to be helping actually the, what's the word? What he was involved with, I should say. Sorry, I couldn't think of what I was going to say then.
You've got this. We've been out of practice, Royal Community.
Yeah. So that was lovely to hear that information. And we also had Sophie, the Duchess of Edinburgh, celebrating her 60th birthday.
Oh,
and we
wow.
had some lovely new shots, didn't we, of her? Which was so nice to see. And I loved one of them in particular because she looked just so happy and so natural in front of the camera.
Yeah, 100%. I thought there was such a lovely, authentic view of Sophie. I 100% agree with you. It looked very natural, it still looked styled. It still looked royal, didn't it? But she just looked like somebody you go to the coffee with, down the street with and have a coffee. Do you know what I mean? Like, she's so relatable. And I mean, she looks great for 60. It's amazing.
Yeah, she looks fantastic. We also had the King travelling to Poland to mark Holocaust Day. Yeah. And he's the first British monarch to do so, and understandably, because obviously we had King George V and then Queen Elizabeth II and now King Charles, but he is actually, the Queen never visited Poland for Holocaust Day. So I think it was really important that he do that. And there was actually lots of events that the royals attended over that week.
Yeah, as we've mentioned on the podcast a lot of times, the connection with Jewish people and the royals is so fundamental. They really do champion the remembrance of Jews and the Holocaust, and this is such a big deal for him to go there. And even just seeing the pictures and watching him walking around, it's so eerie and poignant, and it's so important. It was so important to see him there, and I'm so glad that he did go there.
Yeah, and I don't know if you remember, Shell, but Catherine, when she was doing, do you remember those portraits that she took? And she actually visited, she was in kind of like a community environment, and two of the people that she shot for those portraits were actually in attendance. And it was lovely to see, because when you saw Catherine hugging them, it was kind of like how you would hug your grandparents when you haven't seen them for a while. And there was that familiarity with them, wasn't there?
Yeah, and it makes me miss my nan as well. Like you say, there is that familiarity there. And I agree with you. And I think this also shows that it's not just an engagement for Catherine. It's not just another royal duty that she has to tick off the list. These people mean a lot to her, and the relationships in which she forms on these engagements and events that she goes to, they stand the test of time. Because like you said, Rach, it was like her meeting, like a maternal figure in that sense. So yeah, it was really lovely to see.
Yeah, absolutely. It was also announced that the King and Queen Camilla will be visiting Italy.
Yay! They go to the Holy See. It's the Jubilee. Is it the Jubilee year? Is that how they say it? I say this, Royal Community, I have literally just come back from Rome. I should know this stuff. But I'm really, really looking forward to this. It's going to be at the start of April, isn't it?
Yeah, in April. Yeah, so that'll be nice, because this will be one of the first royal tours of the year. And speaking of royal tours, we had Edward visiting India. He went there by himself. But then we also had Edward and Sophie in Nepal, and they was there for a whole week of engagements. And it was just so lovely to see them go on engagements and being connected with charities that they champion, especially Sophie. We've spoken about this so many times on the podcast, that she works with sexual abuse survivors. It's charities to do with eyesight and blindness. It's just great to see. Edward did a few engagements to do with the Duke of Edinburgh Awards, Duke of Edinburgh International Awards, I should say.
Yeah.
So it was just so lovely to see them, and for them to actually get recognised on the royal socials as well, because there was actually a few posts.
Yeah, exactly. I know. Listen, we've got still so much to talk about. Royal community, grab your cup of tea. There's still so much to talk about. There will be chapters at the bottom, so if you want to move along to different things that we're talking about, feel free to. Rach, did you have anything else to say about the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh? Because I kind of moved on then. Are we all good? Sorry. Princess Beatrice had a baby. That's why I was so excited. I was like,
Yay! There's a new royal baby!
Athena Elizabeth Rose. She was born several weeks premature, Rach, weighing 4 pounds 5 ounces. Wow. I know, but she is said to be healthy and doing well. And when I found this news out, I was actually in Athens. So when it said Athena, I was like, oh, I love this. Yeah. It was meant to be. Although my prediction for 2025 didn't come true, because I said Scarlet, didn't I?
Yeah, Sienna and Scarlet. But I think Sienna and Athena go quite nice together. And then you've got Wolfie as well. Yeah.
Oh, well, hope mum and baby are doing well for sure.
Shall we move on to the Royal Hobnob show? Because Anne visited South Africa.
Mm-hmm.
And she also revealed, not in South Africa, but on a different engagement, that she doesn't remember anything from her accident. And this was quite shocking, because it made us realise as royal fans that actually it was more serious than the palace let on.
Yeah, absolutely. And we kind of heard, oh, she had a concussion. It might have been done by a horse, blah, 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 blah. But actually, she literally said it could have, I don't know who the perpetrator is. You know, I've actually written down exactly what she said. So bear with me a minute. Let me get out her quote on that. She said, I'm so grateful in a weird way that I remember nothing, because that has its huge advantages. You can just carry on. And I don't know if there was a perpetrator or managed to do that much damage. They are not letting on either, so the relationship remains absolutely secure, which got a real big laugh. She visited Southmead Hospital, which basically is the trust that looked after her. But not just that, she also visited when she went to the hospital, all the people that looked after her were there, and they were people from the North Bristol Trust, Southmead Hospital, obviously, the Southwest Ambulance Foundation, Great Western Air Ambulance Charity. She had an air ambulance, and when she was talking to the people, they were telling her what happened, and she literally was like, oh really? Like she's getting information from them as they were talking. Rach, this was a big deal. She was a lot worse than we ever thought.
It was, and it's quite surprising that she didn't stay in hospital for longer, because I think she was only in there for like maximum a week, wasn't she?
Yeah. Well, that's what she said. She said it's testimony to your good care, basically, that she is so healthy and well now. That must be really frightening, actually. Could you imagine that? Like that part of, you just can't remember. Of that day. Yeah.
So tough.
Yeah, staying with the Hobnob royal community, we also saw that there was a portrait that has come out, and I've got a little I'm going to show you on YouTube if you want to have a look. So this is from Louise Pragnell. This is on her Instagram, and she is the artist. And she was talking about the sit-in for Princess Anne and this portrait. It was for the Sadler's Company, and it was actually done at the Sadler's Company in one of the rooms there. She said that the sit-ins took place last year at the hall in London, and it's quite an interesting thing. What did you think of it, Rach? Do you like it?
I think it's very much her likeness, but I think when we think of a royal portrait, we think of it being more grand, and there's not a lot, but we know Anne, you know, she's not a showy person, but because it was for the saddler company, it makes sense that there is actually a saddle in the background.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it was actually commissioned by them from the Saddler's livery company. I never know how to say that. But also, Louise painted a picture of the Duke of Kent in 2013, and that is located in the Cavalry and Guards Club in Piccadilly, London. And those sittings took place in St James's Palace. So she is not shy of a bit of royal portraits.
Nice.
Yeah, and I tell you what, if you go onto her Instagram, I'll pop a link in the comments for you, sorry, in our description, so you can have a look. Have a look at that, because she's got a video of her actually painting it, and right, it is massive. This thing is like really, really tall and big, and she said she had to do it in sections because it was that big. Yeah, it was just really interesting. So thought I'd mention it, royal community. Have a look over there, and I think exactly the same thing as you, Rach. I think it's a great likeness. Wasn't quite a fan of the robes, but I'm sure that's got connections to the organization. But I agree with you. Love the saddle in the background. Absolutely loved it. Yeah. So just thought we'd mention that today. What are we moving on to next?
Well, you just mentioned the Duke of Kent, and we've got a bit of news about the Duke of Kent, haven't we?
Oh, I love it. I love it.
We had a rare appearance from him. He was representing the king at events to commemorate the 80th anniversary of the bombing of Dresden during the Second World War. And he gave a speech in German,
Yeah.
I know. In German.
I know. We keep forgetting that the royal family can speak a lot of languages.
Well, not forgetting that really the royal family are German. German in their blood.
Oh, but again, it's amazing. I literally thought we were not going to see the Duke of Kent now very much, and he'd probably only come out maybe at Remembrance Day, if anything, Trooping the Colour. But this is a very surprising appearance from him. But it just goes to show his duty, doesn't it? And his dedication to his role.
Yeah, I agree. I honestly thought he was going to be like Princess Alexandra, in the sense that we know that she doesn't do royal engagements anymore. And I thought, since the last time we saw the Duke of Kent, he was looking quite frail. He was going along the same lines as that. But like you said, something like this. And I think I read that he's actually been involved with this for over like 60 years or so.
Yeah, I think, yeah, you're right. It's something that he has been connected to, and it's an important thing they said about Dresden. And yeah, I mean, we can go into the history of it, but we will be here for a while. So let's move on. I'm just seeing if we've covered most of the other things we wanted to say, Rach, because we did have some news from the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Now, this week we saw them both at the Invictus Games in Vancouver, Canada. The games, as we know, include at this games with 550 wounded, injured, or sick service personnel and veterans from 23 countries competing in 11 sports in Whistler and Vancouver. So I wanted to kind of share a little bit actually of information from the closing ceremony. The Invictus Games 2025 CEO Scott Moore reported a profit of more than $5 million American dollars, which will go towards supporting various veterans in programs across Canada, which I think is amazing. And also Prince Harry gave an address to the athletes, and he said being a role model is not just about resilience, skill, or power. It's about integrity, compassion, and courage. You guys give us hope through your healing, your honesty, and through your humanity. Now, Rach, I'm not sure if you know this, because I've only found this out today, but Invictus Games 2027 is taking place in Birmingham in the UK.
Yeah, I knew that, yeah.
Oh, I love it. I only found this out today. I was like, oh, brilliant. And then moving on, Rach, we had some news from Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. As we know, her With Love Meghan Netflix show was due to start in January, but it got pushed back into March. And yeah, she let the cat out of the bag, so to speak, through a post on a newly updated Instagram account that her American Riviera Orchard brand is no more, and it's actually been rebranded to As Ever. And we learned that Netflix has also come on board as a partner in her business. So, kind of passing the baton over to you, Royal Community. As Jam is Meghan's Jam, what do you think of her new turnaround? I love being a bit cheesy. We're going to go for it.
Well,
Will you?
do you know what, Shell?
Will you be buying the lifestyle products? You know, these are spreads and books and pet treats and body lotions. And will you also be watching the Netflix show?
And I just want to add, we didn't write this in the notes because it came out only a few hours ago here. But yes, it's been rebranded as Ever, but it's already in hot water because there's officials in Porres, I'm really sorry if I pronounced that, in Mallorca, saying that Meghan's new brand logo looks almost identical to their historic coat of arms, which has been in use for over 650 years.
Yeah.
So this is going to be interesting because one of the reasons that American Riviera Orchard didn't take off was because they couldn't get it patented, because there was other companies that complained saying it was either too much like their logo or too much like their brand name that had been around for years. So it will be interesting to see what happens with As Ever, and if it stays as that or if it changes again, who knows. But Royal Community, let us know your comments and your thoughts below. We'd love to hear about what you think about Meghan's new brand, and will you be watching the show as well? We'd love to hear your thoughts.
And also, Rach, adding on to that logo fiasco, there's also a clothing brand called As Ever in New York / New Jersey. And they are like, well, we're called As Ever. So it's going to be quite interesting. I know this happens quite a lot, actually, when you have businesses that have very similar names or the same name. So it's going to be interesting how they broach that, because I'm sure lawyers and higher ups in the company would have probably assessed those types of things anyway, but who knows. I mean, will you be watching As With Love Meg? I wonder why she didn't call it As Ever Meghan, her show. You know what I mean? Because she said that this was in the making from 2022. Is that right?
But I think because the legal proceedings for American Riviera Orchard have probably only just finished, and that they had no option but to change the name. I think it was probably too late, because obviously all of the promotion has already started for With Love Meghan, hasn't it? So it makes sense. But Royal Community, if you want to hear more about our thoughts, we do have our VIP Royal Community Zoom call on this Friday. We love chatting to all of our members, and we're going to be talking about this more in detail. So if you do want to come on over and join us, you can. The link is in the description, or head on over to Kofi and the link is there, and you can become a member of the VIP Royal Community. We also have a private Facebook group, and we've actually been talking about this a lot, haven't we, throughout this week? So
absolutely.
I'm really excited to talk about to talk about it with our members.
As well, because it's how can I put it, like, it's interesting to see what happens to members of the royal family when they leave the royal family or they divorce, or, you know, it's interesting to see where they go. And people also like Zara, Tyndall, and the other family members who are not making money from the royals, what they're doing in their lives. So it's I think everyone's going to have an opinion in one way. So Royal Community, let us know your opinion in the comment section. And hopefully, if you're part of the VIP Royal Community, we'll go a bit more in depth about our opinion and how we feel about it on Friday for our VIP Royal Community. Rachel, I think we're done with all our news, aren't we?
We are done and dusted.
It's so amazing to be back. I've missed it.
I know, it's just so nice to talk about the royal news. I mean, we talk about it all the time anyway, and it's just it's nice to be back and nice to have a fresh new year of royal watching, and we're really excited to see what happens for the rest of 2025.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you are subscribed to our YouTube channel. We're over on Instagram at Keeping Up with the Windsors Pod. You can also find us on all of your podcasting streaming services. And yeah, we've got so many vlogs. So you can have a look at that on the YouTube. We've got so many podcasts that you can backdate and listen to those as and when you want. So yeah, be a part of the Royal community and join in with anything we've got Royal content wise. We're looking forward to seeing you next week. And yeah, thanks for watching.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.